Two men journey to the bars and restaurants of Scandinavia to find amazing beers, always with the same question.
Hey, what's on tap?
It's time to find out.
Welcome back to another episode of What's on Tap podcast.
Yes.
I'm your host, Matthias, and we have our other eloquent host,
Stefan.
Stefan.
Getting all Swedish up in here.
Exactly.
For a very special reason.
Because
we are interviewing a Swede today.
Exactly.
Wow.
And it's also our first, the first in a new series of episodes, which is the homebrewer interviews.
Right. So we want to promote local homebrews and efforts that are being put on around Skåne. Because there are a lot.
Not only Skåne. I mean, if we find...
Yeah, because we're traveling a lot, man. We're everywhere. So it's just like...
We're just about global at this point.
Yeah. If I globally mean here in Copenhagen, you're right. International at this point.
Exactly.
We are international. So.
Well, I mean, we're going to go to Gothenburg soon.
We will, yeah.
So I mean, that's far.
It is. It's a whole 3 hours away. So
exactly.
we are on the move. We are movers and shakers.
Going places.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, today we're joined by
Anders from my home brewery Elm 11.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
And I think
well, first the reason why we're having
Anders
on
on
the show.
Yeah,
some mission and purpose. Yes.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. We have to talk about purpose and what? Purpose and consequence, or
the consequence of him being on the show,
yeah.
or the consequence of him winning him on the show. I don't know. It's like crime and punishment.
Exactly. It's like, it sounded like you were fishing for like something else there.
No,
but the purpose is that we have Anders here today, or Elm 11, and we want to promote the social channels.
Yes,
it's important.
Yeah.
But you recently won the Maltes Hembryggsfestival. Yeah. You won the People's Choice Award, right?
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah.
And
congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
If you don't remember what the Maltes Homebrew Festival was, I think our third or fourth episode was a roundtable discussion about homebrew competitions and how do you judge these things, and it was very enlightening.
Yes, indeed. So if you haven't listened to that episode, you can pause now, go back, listen to that, and come back to here.
I think you'll understand all the things he had to go through.
Exactly.
The suffering, the stress, the drama that was involved, the tears, the laughter.
The sweat.
Yes. Everything that went into the blood, the other bodily fluids we don't discuss, that went into making this beer. So we're all very excited about this.
Wow. Yeah, me too. Thanks.
Yeah.
So one of the things is that, I noticed you quite a while ago. I think it was...
Yeah, we had contact. Yeah.
Exactly. We did have some contact, like in late spring or early summer or something.
Yeah, some summer, yeah.
Yeah. So because, I mean, so my Olofsson Brewing Instagram account, I get a lot of beer-related stories or people recommendations to follow. Yeah. And one of the things that caught my eye in the feed was your images, because all of your images are absolutely amazing.
Yeah, thanks.
Because everything you post on Instagram, it looks so fucking delicious and so fucking drinkable. It's like, fuck, I gotta see what this guy's doing. And I started following you, and it's like, holy fuck, he's checking in like in Malmo as well. So it's really close by. It's like, it looks delicious. It's really close by. I need to get my hands on this shit as well. I need to try that.
Yeah, he followed me today on Instagram. I started looking at them, I'm like, I gotta try these beers, man. Who is? I'm like, oh, is it we're interviewing this guy? Awesome. I'm looking something to look forward to now.
Yeah. We had some contact, and we actually set up like, we need to swap some beers, but we never got it.
We never got to it, but today we got to it.
Yes.
So now we're
here today. Yes.
Yes, indeed. So tell us a little bit about yourself to begin with, I think.
Yeah. So, my name is Anders, as I told you before, guys. And, I moved to Malmo 6 years ago from Småland, Växjö.
Yeah.
I'm 36 years old, if you want to know. And actually, I started, my beer journey started actually recently. 3 years ago, maybe. Before that, I knew only lagers, the Tuborgs, the Falcons, the stuff like that.
The good stuff.
The good stuff, yeah. So I'm actually really new to what do you call it, the craft beer scene. Yeah, exactly. So And a friend of mine introduced me to Punk IPA or something like that, and I was like, wow.
I think that's a lot of people's first the first craft beer you see where it's like, oh, this is something different. This is new. This is interesting. It could kind of have more of this.
Yeah.
The gateway
what else
beer.
is there? The gateway beer. Yeah, that's where I was. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, it's a gateway beer. Actually, it is. Yeah,
it is.
And then it went on from there. But
you got entrapped into the whole craft beer scene, and
I didn't actually know it. It was like this was nice, and then instead of drinking a Falcon, you go on to what's else in there, in that bag.
What more can I
And then
experience?
suddenly you went from spending like 100 crowns to like 300 crowns.
Exactly for the bag.
Like, that's what I'm seeing. That's a real
to going
difference.
to all of the Friday releases. And
Yeah.
like, oh, there's a Imperial Stout here for 200 kroners. I should get 3 of those.
Exactly. Yeah, but I guess that's a pretty common start for.
I think so
I'm
too.
a pretty late bloomer.
Late bloomer.
Whatever you want to call it.
So that's a pretty quick transition. Then how'd you go from like starting to get into craft beer to like wanting to brew your own beer?
Yeah, it was actually So I started out interesting me for the beers, and then actually I got a kit for my girlfriend.
Was it the Lilla Köksbryggeriet?
No, actually not. Yeah, it was like a bulldog kit, with the
right.
tin, with the like that you heat in the water.
Yeah.
And
you get the little syrup come out.
Yeah. I was so excited, because I got it for my birthday.
Yeah.
And I was like looking at it, and then when I got back into town, I went to Sen Specialisten, the
local homebrew shop.
Yeah. And bought a bucket and hydrometer and stuff like that, and then just poured it in. I knew nothing. Like I didn't read much more than the instructions and stuff like that. So poured it in and tipped in the yeast, and it wasn't good. It wasn't good. I can tell you that.
I hear a lot of stories. They either start out with the first one turned out really well. And then I didn't make anything good for like 10 more tries, or the first one, like the first 3 are just horrible, and then
this was horrible. Yeah, you couldn't drink it. I actually bottled it, and and I tasted it, and I was like, oh wow, it was it's horrible. And I actually took it to a friend, my friend Jonas, and he was like, I'm sorry to say, I can't drink this. It was like, I don't know if it was like open the bucket. I didn't know about oxidation and stuff like that. So I just tipped the hydrometer right into the bucket. And, so it's like So that's how it started, actually. Yeah.
I think that's also the beauty about it is the learning process.
Yeah.
So because you do a shit ton of mistakes in the beginning, and then you kind of so you talk to someone else who's brewed a little bit more, and then they say, you did what? You put the hydrometer into the bucket? Did you at least sanitize it before?
I did actually, but
Oh, you did that?
Okay.
That's good.
It's like sanitized?
Yeah. I remember the first time I tried making Imperial Stout.
Yeah.
I thought, well, the more black malt you use, the better it's going to be, right? But of course, black malt is not very fermentable.
No.
So I did a malt bill of I think it was 60% black malt and then just 40% base malt.
Yeah.
And I call up my friend from Brazil, just like I did this recipe, and it's really dark, but it's stuck in fermentation. Like it's not fermenting down anymore. It's like it went from 1080 to 1050, and then it got stuck. He's like, so what does the recipe look like? What's the malt bill like? And I was like, well, I used 60% roasted malt and 40% base malt. And he's like, you fucking idiot.
But how can you know?
Exactly.
So you need to try, you need to fail, and I guess,
Well, it's the best thing of learning. And also, I think the good thing about it is that the beer scene is full of people who want to share knowledge as well. I think that's the cool thing about it. It's no one kind of sits on secrets in the scene or just pertinent to that person. Because if you make something good, you kind of want to help others make something great as well. So I think that's a really cool thing about the scene.
Totally agree. Yeah.
So, but you brought 2 beers today.
Yeah.
So it's the same beers that you competed with, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a New England IPA brewed with Mosaic and Simcoe, double dry hopped.
It's a really good hop selection there.
Yeah. And it's an Imperial Stout as well, 9%. Brewed with raw licorice, star anise.
Ooh.
Anise? Do you say
anise?
Anise. Yeah, thanks.
Star anise.
Yeah. Star beep. And
Well, it depends on if your asshole is bleached or not, right?
I really don't know about that.
should we leave that? Or, I don't know.
I will take your word on that one.
Well, we can stray away from that conversation.
Yeah.
That's a different podcast.
I can't comment to that. Sorry.
Well, you're being too modest.
Yeah.
Well,
So, and vanilla.
Yep.
And lactose.
Nice.
And then I aged it, it's rested on oak chips.
Nice.
ooh, it sounds really good.
Yeah.
So what kind of, is it just raw oak chips, or has it been oak chips with...
medium toast, American.
but it's no
American
bourbon or...
no bourbon or nothing, yeah.
Cool.
So it's really a sweet, candy-like stout. Yeah.
Nice.
It's a nice licorice flavor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Excellent.
Awesome. And which one of these was the one that you won the competition with?
It was the Imperial Stout. It's named Laekker Lakrids.
Licorice Lakrids.
Yes, Vanilla Whisper.
Nice.
And the New England IPA is named Woodland Stories.
Woodland Stories.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. Let's
pop it up.
dig
Let's
in.
do it.
Yeah.
Right.
What do you want to start with?
Well, I think
the New England IPA.
New England IPA.
Yeah,
is
to
really
start
good
with
choice,
something.
right?
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I think we're gonna kind of numb our taste buds a little bit.
Yeah,
with,
Especially all that licorice.
licorice. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Do you like licorice?
Yeah. Actually, I do like licorice beers.
Yeah. Because I was like, when I brought it to the festival, it was like, how smart is it to bring licorice stout to a festival? Because like 50% of the people there maybe not like licorice.
That's
true.
Like olives or whatever.
Yeah.
So
That's a bold move.
Yeah.
That actually worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
It paid off.
It's a bold move that paid off.
Exactly. All right. Well, this is beautiful looking.
It definitely fits the
Yeah.
style.
Yes.
Pouring. I don't know if you can hear it here. No.
No. Yeah, you can.
Maybe a little
It
bit.
picks
Yeah,
up pretty. It
usually
picks up
picks
pretty
up-
well.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's have a little whiff of this.
A little whiff.
Oh, wow. That smells really freaking good.
Yeah, it is really fruity and hoppy right on the nose. It is.
Yeah.
Just prepares you for some excitement there.
Oh, hell yeah. This reminds me of a lot of the hazy beers we had at Brewskival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are a lot of haze.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The haze craze is real.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's really, Yeah.
It smells lovely. It looks amazing.
Yeah.
So let's
I think it's.
dig into
Cheers,
this
guys.
bad boy.
Cheers. Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you for coming over and being on the show.
Thanks.
It's really nice. How did you get the haziness in the beer itself?
I don't know. Actually, it's like I think it's a combination of yeasts, water treatment, and like oats or wheat or whatever you have in your beer, in your mash.
Yeah.
So I think it's a combination of that. But definitely, I found a yeast that I really love. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's a combination of that.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think one of the things when so I've also done a couple of the hazy ones. I think the first ones, the first one turned out like semi-hazy, and I think that was also due to the water treatment a lot. So I'm guessing you also used a lot of the chlorides, and then kind of bring down the sulfates a bit, just to get like the nice smooth bitterness instead of the harsh bitterness.
Yeah. So it's really high on the chloride side and low on the sulfate side, as you say. And I use, I think it's kind of low flocculating.
Yes.
Flocculating? Yeah,
Using
flocculating
English
yeast.
as well?
Y yeast, London Ale 3.
It's the same one that I use.
Yeah. It's so
good.
smooth. It's so really nice.
Yeah.
And really high on the oats as well. So I think the combination of that really, brings out the haze and the smoothness in the beer.
Indeed.
Yeah.
This is a excellent example of the style, I gotta say. Like this is really freaking impressive.
Thanks a lot.
It's,
really.
It's got a nice light sweetness to it.
Yeah.
Really clean finish. There's a little bit of bitterness to it, which I think a lot of hazy IPAs kind of eliminate that altogether, and I kind of miss that in an IPA.
Yeah.
I want a little bit of bitterness in an IPA.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, because it brings out, it's not bitter like a West Coast IPA, of course.
No.
But you still get that bitterness kick in the aftertaste as well, which I really, really enjoy in these kind of IPAs. Because I mean, the smooth, like pillowy mouthfeel of it is fine and all, but it's like you do want like that kick of bitterness in an IPA, even though it's the New England crazy hazy style.
Yeah.
So I think the combination of like that kind of it's a semi-accentuated bitterness to it.
Yeah.
Which I really enjoy.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I think you need to have like some, because if you drink a lot, like, or you have in a glass, I think it's fine if it's like on the sweet side. But if you're doing a couple of glasses, it's nice to have that bitterness to like to freshen out the to level it out. Like,
So how long ago was it that this was kegged?
I kegged it 2 days prior to the festival, and the festival
Festival's got to be like 2.5 or 3
it
weeks
was
now?
the 14th of October, so the 12th of
3 weeks
October.
now.
12th of October.
Yeah, so it's really hitting its
really
sweet
hitting
spot
a
then.
really
Yeah.
good spot.
Yeah, exactly, because on the festival it was on the raw side.
I can imagine, because the hops are receding just enough to where it doesn't get that raw kind of.
Yeah, it was a slight of a hop burn actually at the festival, to be honest. Like you felt in your throat, or it was like going all over the place. But now it's really settled down, and I think it's.
I think that's what I've found a lot with the hazy IPAs that I've done as well, is that I mean the sweet spot is usually around like the 3 or 4 week mark. Yeah, and that's where, as you said, like the hop flavors kind of like meld together a little bit and balance out. And I think this is the perfect spot. Well, now I haven't tried it fresh. Like 2 weeks kegged or 2 days kegged. But I could imagine there would be a bit of hopper to it then. But this is a lovely beer.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so I think the hop burn is like, I double dry hop it, so at day 3 and day 6. So I think, from the G's being kind of low flocculating and, dry hopping with pellets right in the fermenter, I guess there will be some, hops still in suspension.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So if you don't like cold crash it for a longer time, I guess that's why you get that hop burn in the side.
So do you cold crash it at all, or
2 days?
Yeah. It's the same as me as well.
Yeah.
I usually do like 1 or 2 days cold crashing for the hazy IPAs.
Yeah, and because I dry hop it there, with no hop bag or nothing directly in the fermenter, so I need
you do it directly in?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
So I need to crash it down to the bottom before I keg it. So
Cool. Well, this is I think the one I was thinking about before was there was an Evil Twin. I don't remember if it was a double IPA or a normal IPA, but I bought a can of it from Hembryggsfestival and I brought it over here.
Twin Peaksy one with the.
I think it was
Diane.
Diane. Yeah.
I love that name.
Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah,
I think it reminds me of that one.
Oh, thanks.
Wow.
There's no. Wow. Thanks.
Yeah, it's excellent. I mean, I don't think I could give any critique on it really.
No,
it's a excellent, solid.
Yeah. It's
I've been working on the recipe for a while, and I've been doing some. I've mostly been doing like New England IPAs and stouts, or mostly New England IPAs. So I've been I found a recipe that okay, now I'm onto something.
Yeah.
And then I've been like doing that recipe, tweaking, trying out, but keeping to the core.
Yeah. So what version of this is this?
The
iteration.
Iteration,
yeah.
This one, I don't know, I've been brewing, 10, 12, 14 New England IPAs, or 10 at least. So this is like the latest version.
Okay.
So, and this one I tried out some puffed wheat. I haven't used much wheat in my New England IPAs, but
puffed wheat really freaking works.
Yeah, I think it does for the color as well. It's like really, really pale yellow.
Yes.
The other ones I've been doing mostly with oats and all ordinary pale ale malt.
Yeah,
and that's like a bit more orange.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, I found
this is much more of a lemony.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like a bright yellow, orange, lemony color. Yeah.
Kind of like a Meyer lemon almost.
Yeah, exactly.
So, in the next iteration of this, where do you see you pushing it? Where do you want to tweak it next?
I think I will keep working on the water treatment, because even though you read a lot on the water treatment, it's so hard to understand what it actually does like in the chemistry, because you read that, okay, increase the chloride and then you get a softer mouthfeel. But okay, but why?
Yeah.
So that's my like next, step to really, really understand the chemistry about it, because I think, when you do the water right, I think you're...
Yeah. That was what you discovered with the stout that we did.
Yeah.
The water treatment.
Because when we did the repair bimbo imperial stout, I changed the water treatment completely from what I've done with stouts before. Now I can't really remember exactly what I did, but I remember that we upped the calcium levels quite a lot, I believe, and also the chlorides to get that soft mouthfeel, and it just made it completely different. It's
really,
to me, it's
rounded it out.
To me, it's one of the best stouts that we've ever made. Basically, I really enjoyed the because before it was always like it was either too dry or it was like a little bit too bitter or it was too roasted, and the mouthfeel was never quite right. Like every stout would be too light on the mouthfeel, even if it was like a high ABV, even if it started like, or if it finished at a quite kind of a high FG as well, it would always feel too light. So when changing the water treatment, we actually found that kind of, because it's not thick as motor oil, but it's thicker. So it's
not Omnipolo
thick.
But it's definitely in that prairie artisan style.
Exactly.
Mouthfeel.
It's really hard to get that, the, what do you call it, viscosity,
exactly.
Even if it feels like the mouthfeel is full, but you need, when you flip it in your glass, you really want it like thick and oily.
Exactly.
And,
you want it to lace the glass.
Exactly,
really
like a brown nice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that we noticed with the changing the water treatment for the stouts. Was that we actually achieved that that viscosity, the level of viscosity we wanted. So I think that's one of the things that I really enjoyed about that one.
What's the ABV on this?
6.8.
Okay. Yeah. That's perfect for this kind of beer.
I did a couple of, the last batches I did 8. It was like kind of high, and the mouthfeel was, it was, you felt a bit too much like alcohol.
Too much of a burn.
Exactly. No, I think like 7% is more or less great for this one. Maybe I will go back a bit on the wheat next time. It's like 9-10%, but back it down a bit. To see what happens to a little bit more rich of a mouthfeel.
Cool. If you have any tips for other homebrewers out there who want to make really good New England style IPAs, what would be the key thing to making that style?
Yeast.
For
starch.
It
was
funny because I've been listening to a bunch of brewer interviews, and they all like the yeast is like another person in the brewery process. It's not an ingredient. It's a thing that lives with them, and so it's interesting to hear brewers talk about how they treat yeast and revere it in certain ways.
I can only say good things about this yeast, like the Y yeast London Ale 3, because it's also so easy, because it's really, really high krausen. So it's, if you get into like saving yeast, it's really, really easy to scrape the krausen off, the first day of fermenting, to save in jars in the fridge, and then if you brew in a week, you can just tip those in the next batch.
Exactly.
Without even doing a starter. If you wait a longer time, I guess you need to do a starter. But and after that, I guess it's water treatment.
I agree.
So totally in that order,
totally agree.
Chemistry.
But
beer making is chemistry.
It is. And, you can't do it. You need to know the details. So
Cool. Well, this is I don't know. Are we doing ratings on the homebrew?
I don't think we should rate the homebrews, but we both really appreciate this, and think it's a great beer.
Thank you
very much.
It's absolutely perfect. And if we were rating it commercially, it would definitely be way above the 4 mark for me.
Wow. Thanks. Wow.
We have a 10 scale, but
I'm flattered. If you would see my face now, it's going to be
He's gushing.
Pale red.
Thanks,
guys.
Very
Thanks,
well done.
guys.
Super well done.
All right, so next up is the Licorice Vanilla Stout.
I'm
very excited about this.
The festival winner.
The festival winner.
How'd it feel to win? Were you surprised, or were you just like, holy shit?
Yeah,
we were kind of like, those guys are definitely going to take it, and then they...
Yeah, no, it was, the level is really, really high. I mean, it was a lot of good beers, a lot of good brewers. The sours was really good.
Yeah.
The New Englands, there was a really, a couple of really, really good New Englands as well. So yeah, and when I got there and tried out some beers, I was like, okay, this is, if I'm gonna have some chance of winning or even place like 1 to 3, it's gonna be great. It needs to be great, but it felt great, of course. But I actually, if I thought I should win, I thought it would be with the New England.
Yeah.
No, okay.
Yeah, so, but after a while, I felt that people really enjoy the stout. I was like, what? So yeah. So
Because it's so different. There's not a lot of licorice stouts on the market, even in commercially.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, someone to come in with one that sounds like it's going to be really licoricey. Quite looking forward to this.
Yeah, me too. I think
No pressure.
No, I was like.
This better not suck.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I've had a licorice stout from a Danish brewery called the Lille Bryggeri.
Yeah, we can get that chili licorice beer year round here.
Exactly. But it's too heavy on the chili, that one, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. It's
Yeah.
plastic placemat.
I'm not very keen of chili in beers. It's like
It can,
for me, it's
like a little bit goes a long way.
Yeah.
Ooh, wow, that smells amazing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it smells like candy, literally
it
does
like a
smell
candy
like
bar. Yeah. Like
I don't
really
know if it's a little bit tad too cold.
Yeah, it's a little bit cold.
Really get the vanilla just off the.
It's really funny. People like really detect the vanilla really, really easy, and I was
Yeah.
like, I don't taste the vanilla. I don't see the vanilla.
I don't taste it, but I mean, the smell is just like sweet and candy-ish, and
it's really on the sweet side, this beer. So don't be surprised. It can be a bit like wow in your face when you're
it's aggressive. It's aggressively sweet. And what was the ABV on this as well?
9.
Yeah.
Actually, I was going for 10, but my OG was a bit low. So yeah, but that happens when you brew at home, I guess.
I think 9 is well enough.
Yeah, I was going for 10, to be honest.
But I think the good thing about this one compared to some other licorice stouts that I've had is that it's not just licorice in your face heavy.
No. Yeah,
because it in the smell at least it smells like a balance between the licorice and the vanilla, which is really nice.
it's really like I say. The McKellar does a licorice they have once a year, and Tuol does a licorice as well.
Tuol does the licorice one. Yeah, is that Liquid Confidence or is it another one?
I can't remember. But there's one that I'm pretty sure it's McKellar that does with the Danish licorice candy maker. That's
I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it now either.
But I know that's a licorice IPA, right? Because I know they have one called Kjolsvart.
Yeah,
which is a licorice IPA. Okay. That's not super heavy on the licorice side either.
It's pretty licoricey.
Okay.
I think the IPAs highlight the adjuncts better than stouts a lot of times.
All right.
Because like when we had the licorice coffee beer, the coffee IPAs, those have been really coffee forward.
Yes.
Beers, whereas when you have it in a stout, it's usually not as prominent.
It's
prominent. Yeah. You still get coffee, but you don't get that like strong coffee-ish.
Don't know if I totally agree with that.
I'm just saying, like...
I mean, just looking at the tiramisu imperial.
Well, the tiramisu was an exception to the rule.
Yeah.
I mean, the tiramisu was just like... So we had last episode was the tiramisu imperial stout from Hawkshead and Cigar City.
Yeah.
And it was like just drinking coffee.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Yeah. It was really good.
really good.
Like fresh coffee?
It literally tasted like fresh coffee.
Yeah,
like a cold brewed fresh coffee.
Yeah. I wonder who they do that. How they do that taste. Like I wonder if they like tip in like beans right into. I don't know.
I mean, I would.
If we talk process here, since it's a homebrew.
Yeah. The for coffee that we made, we did the way that I usually do coffee is that I cold brew it for 24 hours before I keg the beer. Yeah. And then I just dump the cold brewed coffee. Well, take the beans out. Of course, and then just dump the liquid into the keg while I keg the beer. Yeah,
Interesting.
And then because then you don't get like because if you brew it first, you usually get some kind of harsh bitterness to it as well.
Yeah.
And then you avoid that completely.
Yeah.
So it's just like stick the coffee in. I usually do I think it's 250 grams of coffee beans, just really coarsely ground into I think it's a liter of water usually. And then leave that for 24 hours before kegging, and then take the beans out. Of course, the beans have absorbed a lot of the liquid. So I think you're left with maybe like 250 or 300 milliliters of water, which is really intensely coffee flavored.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and then just dump that in a keg, and then just keg the rest of the beer on top of it. And that really turns out, it gives a pleasant coffee taste, and which is really prominent. But it's not cloyingly.
It's not.
And
when it's really fresh, you get that. It becomes a really fresh coffee, and then it recedes a little bit as time goes on, but it still is present.
Yeah. So I think that's usually the way that I do it. At least.
Interesting. I have never brewed with coffee, so maybe that's the next stout.
There you go.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
You never know.
Well,
cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Wow, that is so incredibly smooth.
That is.
And you really get that licorice-y numminess on the tongue.
Yeah.
It really just kind of creeps over you.
Yeah.
This is one of those, if you don't like licorice beers, you are not going to enjoy this. But
No, exactly.
It is.
But I think the cool thing about this as well is that the licorice, as you said, it creeps up on you.
Yeah.
So it's not. It's kind of like what I said about the smell before, and just smelling it. It's you don't get the licorice totally up front in your face, but it's just super well balanced with the vanilla and the licorice in there.
Yeah.
And then when you taste it, it's just like, oh, this is really sweet, and then kind of the vanilla or the licorice just comes creeping up on you.
Yeah. It's like if you buy like a really high-end sweet licorice.
Yeah.
From the store, because it's just pleasant. It's just so good.
Thanks.
I could see people at the festival really enjoying this.
Yeah, because it kind of not special, but like the taste is different. Like,
I think so. When you're saying it's not special, I get what you're saying, but I think the special part in this is how well integrated the licorice is in that beer. Yeah.
There's a wonderful roastiness to it as well.
Yeah.
I really like the roastiness. It's so good. This really hits all the spots. I can see why this won.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Again, really freaking good job.
And this is. Yeah, on the second sip, I like it even more.
Yeah,
because the initial licorice kind of recedes a little bit, and the roastiness kind of comes through a little bit better.
Yeah, and that's the feedback I got. Like it's like a bit much upfront if you do first sip. Like whoa, it's like, and then then you.
It just becomes more and more pleasant.
Exactly. You get used to it, or no, it's like a bread expression.
And it doesn't feel like 9%, so you kind of want to just drink a lot of it.
Say as well. It doesn't feel like a high ABV beer at all.
No.
But I was going for like a really, really sweet one, so with like a candy kind of feeling, but still, and I was going for the raw licorice powder, but I wanted like a little bit more of a broad spectrum of the licorice, so I added the star
Anise,
thank you. Let's not go there again. And then I was like, why? I need something to complement the licorice. So maybe vanilla. And then let's add vanilla.
Yeah.
But how do I complement vanilla? Okay, let's add oak. American toasted oak is like have light vanilla and caramel tones. So so I think. You get a pretty broad spectrum of tastes.
Yeah.
From.
But then again, like none of them actually jump out at you. Because they're just all like really, really well blended together.
Yeah. So, thanks.
Good job on this one too.
It's so nice. I'm really loving this.
Yeah.
Just sad we don't have more.
How much is left in the keg?
I have a couple of bottles. I have like 5 bottles at home.
Yeah.
All right. So if there's some more you guys want, or anybody on the show.
No, exactly. Well, because you were just moving up to Stockholm, right?
Yeah.
So we were lucky to just get you on here before you head up to Stockholm. So I mean, you're venturing up your brewing adventures.
Yeah,
I hope so.
North now.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking for the next. I don't know what the next step is.
Yeah.
Of course I'm really eager to keep on brewing, to keep on developing, my brewing skills, and but it's kind of like, okay, what's the next step? What do I do next?
Yeah.
And that's where I am right now. I guess, when, of course, winning the festival, it was really, really nice. And so that's a nice, knowing that people really, really like your beer, it's good, and you get a lot of self-confidence, and,
you're on the right track. You have, like, there's something there that you can continue to build on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Especially so young in the process. I mean, it really is really getting out of the gate, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. I started brewing. I did my first like all grain brew last December. So a year.
Oh, so you haven't been doing all grain for a year yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That makes it even more impressive.
Yeah. So I've been doing like, this is 250 liters or something like that at home.
Yeah.
So that's where I am right now. But I've always been doing it because it's fun.
Yeah.
So, and that's when going into the competition, I was like, I felt some, okay, I need to do something that people really like.
Yeah.
And okay, let's scale that off and trust what you're doing, and do something fun, and just. If it's crazy, do it crazy, and that's a tips, like, don't feel any pressure from, like, to keep a certain style if you don't want to, or stuff like that, but just keep on doing. If it's fun, do it, like.
And if you find like a niche or a style that you enjoy doing, and if you have, especially as well with, like you were saying about the New England IPA, that you've done like 14 iterations of it now. And of course, and that's also one of the things is like when tweaking small things between doing kind of the same recipe, that's when you also learn a lot of stuff in brewing as well, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you'll learn what like doing that small modification does to the recipe compared to the previous beer.
But you need to just start broad, I think, and then narrow it down, like, okay, what do I have? And then, okay, now I have something base, and then go from there. Exactly. I guess no matter the style, I haven't been actually doing any sours or anything else. Like I did a mango. My first all grain was a mango IPA.
Kind of like brewski inspired.
Yeah, exactly. I drank that like early in my craft beer, journey. And I was like, wow, what a beer! It's like freaking amazing. Yeah. And then my first all grain was a mango. It was decent actually. Yeah, cool. It was good. Yeah. But other than that, I was doing New Englands and a couple of stouts, and I was about to do some sours, one sour, but when I started reading about it, different technology, like how you do it, it's so many things to get your head around, and I like, okay, back off and read in and get it right, and I haven't really got to it yet though.
It's there's a lot of technique and a lot of different techniques for the sours as well. So you can either do like the traditional method with like either spontaneous fermentation or add like the Rosalaire blend is one of the things that I feel like a lot of people are starting with. But then of course you have to let that sit for like a year. And then even after a year, the Rosalaire blend is not going to be very acidic. No. I mean, the first use of the Rosalaire blend is usually quite like timid, and then it's like when you repitch on top of it, it's going to get really nice. But I mean, at that point, you're basically 2.5 or 3 years into it. So I mean, it takes a long time doing it that way. But then of course you can do like kettle sours.
Exactly.
Which is really really quick turnaround
with the Proviva or
exactly.
Or use dregs from other bottles, and
exactly. So I mean, there's a ton of way to do sour beers, but it's just like trying to get into it and find like the ones that you actually enjoy doing, and also what kind of works on your equipment as well. So, and on equipment, what kind of equipment do you use?
So I have a Bulldog brewer, the cheapest brewer you can find on the market, I guess. But it does the job, and it's nice. And then I use ordinary plastic buckets, like 30 liters plastic buckets, and that's about it, I guess. I ferment down the cellar. It's a pretty nice ambient temperature down there, and then I move it up to the apartment, and then I finish it off there.
Yeah.
So far, no temperature controlled fermentation, but I guess that's also the next step, maybe. I remember when I did my first, extract brew.
Yeah.
I boiled it in my mother's lemonade. What do you call it?
Oh, the big pot.
Yeah, the big pot. Yeah. And then I did a smash. Smash mosaic.
Yeah.
When I bottled it, it was it smelled so fruity and tasted fruity. But now afterwards, I kind of think it was like esters from the.
Oh, from the
yeah. So I fermented it all in the a really really nice high temperature apartment.
Yeah.
So probably it was like esters from the US 05. Because I wasn't crazy with the hops. Not like this New England IPA.
Yeah.
But But I guess so that's what I use. Ordinary brewer, the cheapest one. Works nice. And plastic buckles, stuff like that.
Cool. It just goes to show that you don't have to spend
No.
thousands upon thousands of kroner to make really, really good beer.
No. But exactly. But I guess that a changing point was going for kegs.
Yeah.
I did some decent beers with that I bottle carbonated, but out of the fermenter it tasted really really nice. But after 2-3 weeks, I don't know. It felt like it was the taste was different because of the the bottled carbonation. So I guess kegs is a really really nice investment. It's a kind of a steep going into it cost, but you can keep if you do hoppy beers, you can keep them really really fresh for a long period of time.
The shelf life on hoppy beers are just really really long.
Yeah, and it's extremely convenient as well. So if you have the space in your fridge.
Yes.
I have, thanks to my girlfriend Lisa. Thank you so much. So that's a tip for equipment.
Yeah, definitely. No, it's. I definitely found kegging IPAs and hoppy beers in general. It just improved the longevity of it a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have a hazy IPA on a keg for 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
And it's still going to taste really, really good.
Yeah.
Of course, it's going to change over time, but it's not going to turn bad when you're bottle carbonating it.
No.
Yeah.
And it's also easier to control your carbonation level.
Yes. That's very true as well.
And you don't need to expose your beer for oxygen when you add your carbonation drops, or if you do a secondary bucket, if you add your sugar there, it's so much easier to do a close transfer to the keg as well.
Exactly. And that's also you also do a close transfer to the keg?
Yeah.
So if you also that's also one of the things that I noticed changed the hazy IPAs a lot, because just pouring a silicone tube into a keg, open the keg up, just pouring it in, doesn't really work.
No.
I mean, because that actually killed the shelf life of the IPA. A lot.
Yeah.
So doing the close transfer, I basically just put the ball lock connection onto a silicone tube, and then just transfer it over from the bucket into the keg via the dip tube.
Yeah, exactly. The out, the out port on the Cornelius keg.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I fill the keg with the Star San solution.
Yep.
Flush it out so that it's only CO2. And then I put a hose from the bucket to the out port on the keg, and then another hose from the in port into the bucket where you have the airlock, and so you just switch place of the CO2.
Yeah. Exactly. I think that's one of the turning points for my hazy IPAs as well. It just made it so much better, and it kept the shelf life for a long time as well. So I think that's another tip for the hazy
that's
IPAs.
another tip for hoppy beers as well.
Yeah. Well, I think especially the New England style, it seems to be very very. It seems to be easier to get oxidized for some reason. I don't know why, or
it's not as stable as a beer as other styles.
Yeah.
It's very
very
more volatile,
yeah.
and it drops off really fast.
Yeah.
So you have to keep it as close of an environment as you possibly can.
Yeah.
It's so sad to see when it gets gray or brown or
Exactly.
Oh my god,
it's dying.
Yeah, we had this one. We reviewed this one IPA that was kind of a hazy IPA, and it was just like dishwater.
Yeah,
and it was tasted
horrible.
like cardboard and terrible.
It was horrible.
It was really really bad.
Yeah,
but this
was it commercial?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's no, I think oxidation and keeping it out of the CO2 all the way through.
Yeah. that's a game changer if you're doing New England IPAs.
Definitely.
For me, at least.
Definitely. Yeah, same here. So, I mean, there's probably something there because now
Can't be wrong.
Exactly. That's the statistical turning point.
Yeah. So how did you come up with the name Elm 11?
It's really, it started out when I was about to put up my beers on Untapped. You need a brewery name, and it's really simple. It's not that fun, but I'm living on Almbacksgatan 11. And
oh, really?
Yeah. So it's Elm is Alm, and 11, Elm 11.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
it's as easy as that. Yeah, and it sounded pretty like Elm 11.
Yeah,
it sounded pretty decent, and
So now you're gonna have to change the name when you move to Stockholm.
No.
They become E or double E or something like that. So you can.
I
Still
kind
gonna
of
be
like it now.
homage to the first where it all started.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Malmö.
Exactly.
Keeping true to your roots. You always fall back on that.
Of course, it's where it all started in my one-room flat.
Exactly.
So it's easy as that. But I really like coming up with names on beers and stuff. So it's a kind of part of the process to get the name right, the artwork right, and the story about the beer right. So
Well, you get really like attached to the different creations that you make as well.
Yeah.
So it's like you said, it's like it's like, oh, this is my little child.
Yeah.
Go out into the world, see what you can do.
For me, it's like it needs to feel right with the recipe. If it's a hop-driven beer, the hops compared to the name and to the story and to the artwork, it's like a whole, it's a package.
Exactly.
And I guess that's, for me, it's really nice for the creative process. Like, when doing beers, it's not just only doing the recipe, not only doing the mash or whatever it is. Like, it's also
it's also everything around it.
Yeah, exactly.
So what are you going to get into next?
Brew ice?
Yeah.
Now I'm a bit like, I'm moving, as you said. I would love to get into sours, but that's not really as convenient for me right now. So I guess I will continue tweaking my New England recipes and going, as I said before, with the water treatment, and also exploring the stouts. I really love stouts, and flavoring stouts with different kind of stuff is really nice.
Yeah.
So I think for now I will go for that, but in the long run, or within the 6 months or so, I will go into the sours as well to see what I can do there. But kind of looking for the next step. See, I'm really eager to develop and to learn more. So get into the scene.
Cool,
so to speak. Yeah.
Well.
All right. Well, thank
you very much for
coming out,
taking your time.
And thank you so much for inviting me, guys. And,
of course.
Really fun being here. And
this was a lot of fun, and the beers were absolutely magnificent, both of them. So
thank you very much.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So.
Cheers again.
I finished mine, but I'll cheers anyway. All right, so you can find us online at what'sontappodcast.com.
Yep.
iTunes, Instagram, Facebook, Stitcher, YouTube. Podchaser.
Yeah.
Yep. What'sontappodcast.com, all those places. So, look us up.
If you haven't checked out Elm 11, check it out on Instagram.
Yes.
Are you on any other social medias as well?
No, only Untapped, if that counts as social media.
It does. For beer nerds, it definitely does.
Yeah. Definitely. So Untapped and Instagram?
Yes.
Elm 11?
Yes.
All right. And we'll make sure we put links in the show notes as well.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Bye.